Hi, my name is Eélan and this is my story. For more than 25 years I worked in the public sector. I'm a town planner by trade and my role involved regeneration, working on major regeneration schemes. For those of you not familiar with the term, regeneration is a process whereby the public sector and the private sector come together to inject investment into an area so that it can boost the economy and local people get more opportunities. So my job involved running a large regeneration scheme in the Elephant and Castle, and as a result of that I was involved in inward investment and marketing, supporting small businesses and helping people. One of the things that I had to do was to relocate the residents on a large inner city estate to make way for this regeneration. And because my job involved a lot of work with people and partnering, it occurred to me that one of the most important parts of that job was making sure that people were treated in a way that they really knew they mattered. And I'm a firm believer now that everything we do, whatever that is, we really need to do it with the view that people actually matter. Anyway, more about that later. So I'm working in regeneration, and one of the things that punctuated my career was reorganisation. Every so often what would happen would be the department I was working in would be reorganised and everything would be thrown up and we'd all be given new roles doing exactly the same thing with different titles. And when this came around in 2010, I thought, do you know what? Although I love what I'm doing and I know I'm having an impact, is this the impact that I want to have? Is this my legacy? And I was turning about 50 around the same time, so I suppose I was having a bit of a midlife crisis in that sense, and I decided that rather than stay doing what I was doing, I would do something else. I would take the opportunity of the reorganisation to leave and pursue some other career or some other direction. So took that brave step. I know I can remember when I was leaving, my colleagues asked me why I was leaving, and I said, I'm leaving because I really want to change the world. And they said to me, well, why do you want to do that? And I said, well, don't know about you, but the world I can see isn't something that I'm really happy with, and I'd like to make a big difference. And they then asked me, how are you going to do that? And I said, one thought at a time, because ideas are what change the world, and ideas change one thought at a time. And off I went. So I left. But the truth behind all of that was, despite the bravado, despite the words, I actually really had no idea of what I was going to do. And so, you know, I was just left thinking, how could I really change the world one thought at a time? So let's rewind a bit. When I said I didn't like the way the world was, what I actually meant was I am deeply distressed by the inequality that I see all around me, and the fact that people are treated in a way that they don't matter, and that we, you know, have created this society where we have a kind of me, want it all, want it now attitude. And I often play out this scenario that, you know, can you imagine intelligent beings from outer space are passing by the planet and they come across Earth and they do their secret reconnaissance, they look at how we're living and they see a world full of abundance where there's enough for everybody, and then they see all the poverty and the distress, and they go away and they conclude after they've done their survey that either we are all completely nuts or we are the saddest species in the whole universe, because we have so much and yet we have and the means to solve all our problems, and yet we're living like this. The sad thing is, I don't think we're nuts, and I don't think we are the saddest species in the universe. I think what's happened is what I was talking about earlier. I think we've simply forgotten a simple fact, and that fact is that people matter. People matter because they're people. That's it. Everybody matters, and as human beings and members of a group of people, I think it's our responsibility to do everything we can to demonstrate that people matter. And so I thought, well, okay, how can I do this? What could be a driving force in changing the world and bringing about you know, a set of circumstances where we cared for each other more? And I thought, you know, it seems to me that one of the biggest issues with the way we do things is the dominance of what I consider to be masculine energy, the kind of me, want it all, want it now, constant demanding things, not caring about each other, kind of energy that tends to be associated with the aggression that comes from masculinity. And I'm not talking about men, I'm talking about masculine energy, because women can be just like that. And you know, you only need to look around the world at some of the female leaders to say that women can quite easily allow their dominant masculine energy to dictate how they are in the world. So what's more needed is more feminine energy. And women tend to be more on their feminine side, but what we find is that sitting with our feminine side is not always considered to be a strength, and I think it is. So I thought, that's it, what I need to do is to be able to empower women to be confident enough to bring more feminine energy into the world, and to feel confident enough to be able to take forward this new agenda. Because often there's a story, isn't there, that says if you put 100 really successful women in a room together and tell them all that they've all been invited because they're all really successful, more or less all the women in the room will be looking around at each other going, oh my God, look who's here. Why have they invited me? Look at the person that, oh my God, obviously it's a mistake. I shouldn't be here. They've picked the wrong person. But if you put the same situation with 100 men, so you've got 100 men in a room and said you've all been invited because you are the 100 most successful people, the more likely reaction from the men would be they'd all look around and go, oh my God, they invited him? What's he doing this? Seriously? He's here as well? Completely different attitude. And what seems to be reflected is that women tend to not feel that they are not the imposter, and so this kind of imposter syndrome that saps our energy, that saps our ability to be empowered to do this work in this new agenda. And I thought, that's it, women are the key. And my business background impressed upon me that also businesses are the key. I'm in my garden, can you hear that? It's always someone doing some gardening work when you want to do a recording. So if I can't edit out that sound, you know what it is. What was I saying? So businesses are the key as well, because businesses change communities. If you look back into the 18th century, when the enlightened industrialists of Cadbury's, Rowntree, Bourneville recognised the contribution that those businesses could make to bringing about a fairer, more equal, better world, they set up whole villages where they paid their workers well, where they looked after all their interests, because they recognised that as a business, we're not separate from the community. We are what creates community. We create wealth by employing people, and we distribute wealth in terms of the wages we provide and the goods and services that we choose to supply, so that creates demand. So we've got a lot of power as businesses. So well, that's it. I'm going to work with women, and I'm going to work with businesses, small businesses, because we can bring about that change one thought at a time, changing the way we think about who we are as women and changing the way we think about who we are as businesses. So I talk about something called a business hug, where that's about hearing, understanding and giving back incredible value to your customers, because businesses without customers don't have the capacity and the strength to build strong businesses that can support the wages of well-paid, looked after staff. So it's all like a interconnected circle that is around businesses looking after their customers, being responsible in their communities and be responsible to their employees. And it sounds like a really big vision, but you know what? One voice singing in the darkness can change the world, and we only have to look to our spiritual leaders and to charismatic leaders in the past to see that you can change the world one thought at a time. So quite by accident, I actually hit upon the solution to the thing that I was trying to bring about, that I just happened to say, and I think at the time, as a throwaway line. So Eélan M, this company, see, I have visions of grandeur. This company is my tool to bring about this new vision. A vision of a world where women feel empowered and the companies they run are huggable businesses that are hearing, understanding and giving back incredible value. So the M in Eélan M stands for marketing, mentoring and momentous moments. And the momentous moments being a process that I've created to empower women to stand in their power and banish those feelings of inadequacy and imposter syndrome that sap their strength and stop them leading on this new agenda. So take a look around my website. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, if you ever want to contact me, my contact details are on the website. If you want to work with me, feel free to book a free 30-minute discovery session to see how we can fit together and what I can do to help. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my story and that we are connected and speak real soon. Have a great day, and as we say at Eélan Media, big hugs.